Hey there, Danielle Matthews here. I am coming to you live from Florida. And if you have not come across my content before, I am on a mission to help souls that are on a healing journey to use their darkest moments as stepping stones for growth. Today is book club day. We have been working through Wayne Dyer's The Power of Intention. This book is phenomenal. Every single chapter is standalone. If you haven't been with us through book club, go back, look at the series. It's posted on my YouTube channel. The whole series is posted on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. And hey, Lou. And guys that are part of book club, as you join today, as always, let me know you're here so we can get started. And this week, chapter 12 is all about, well, the title is, It is my intention to attract ideal people and divine relationships. So this entire chapter was all about how to attract in, whether it be your ideal partner, ideal business partner, someone that's going to help you publish a book, someone that's going to help you find the house of your dreams, whatever it is. He talks about exactly what it is that you need to do in order to pull in and draw in the relationships that you need. So if that is something that would be of use for you, I would say stick around. It's about a half-hour discussion where we talk about these things and pull out the pieces that Wayne Dyer shared with us. And let's just dive right in because it's 12 o'clock. So, hey, Larry, I know you loved this chapter. I did too. I feel like every chapter I read and I go, oh, this one's my favorite. It's amazing what he's done. So I wanted to start out just with the quote that began the chapter. This is a quote, and it says, "The moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. Unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance which no man could have dreamed would have come his way." I want to hear if any of you have had an experience where you've made a decision and then literally providence moves. Things happen. I know it takes a little bit of time to type, so type it up. While you're typing, I'll share with you a story. Back in 2015, I moved down to Florida. I just knew the person I was moving there to be with. I didn't know anybody else. And I was starting a word of mouth business. I was starting Asia, this beautiful blue bottle behind me. I was starting that business and I didn't know a soul. So I, however, made a decision. And this is where providence moved for me because I made a decision. I said, okay, I know that I meant to share this with people. I know I want to help people with their health. I want to educate people about this. I'm going to get into motion. And I literally Googled networking, like how do I network with people? And what popped up was something called BNI, Business Networking International. I went there, the very first meeting I ever walked in the door of, they're called I think they're called greeters. But the guy that was in charge of greeting people, he put out his hand and he said, hey, I'm Greg Guido. And, he looked at my name tag. He said, Asia. I know Asia. Guys, I have met, let me fast forward. I have gone to hundreds of networking events. I have met hundreds of people. To this day, 2 people have ever known what Asia is. And the first person I met at my very first networking event said, hey, I know what that is. Well, it turns out Greg Guido and his wife, Liz Guido, ended up mentoring me every single Saturday. I just kind of became part of their group, and they taught me how to run a business. They changed my life completely. They taught me exactly what I needed to know in order to build a business through word of mouth. And this is when I read that quote, I went, I've had this happen to me. Providence literally moved. I mean, everything had to have happened for me to have found that meeting. There were several different meetings in my, area. That was the one that was like, no, you need to go to that one. He had to do things to get in the position to be the first one to greet me. I mean, conversations had to have happened prior to all of that. Providence moves. You can't make this kind of thing up. And they absolutely changed my life. They changed the trajectory of my life, and they've changed thousands of others because through me, I've helped thousands of other people. And it was because I made a decision, and I said, I know that I'm going to do this, and I trust that it's all going to work out, and I got into motion. One of my favorite quotes, you cannot steer a parked car. You got to get moving. So if you guys have an example of providence moving, you making a decision, and all of a sudden things happened. Maybe, something came on the radio and you went, wow, that was the exact thing I needed to hear. Or someone just randomly dropped by and said, hey, you should read this book. It's happened to me many times. My mom, it's like every time there's a book suggestion, it comes through her, and it's like the exact right thing that I needed in that moment. So I'd love to hear, again, I know it takes a while to type stories. So as you guys are doing that, let's move on to page 202. I highlighted an area here. He says, if you believe that you're powerless to attract the right people, then you've attracted powerlessness to your experience. Whatever you believe to be true will be true. If you're attached to the idea of being stuck with the wrong people or no people at all, then your energy isn't aligned with the power of intention and resistance reigns. One of the biggest things in this chapter was this concept of resistance. Did you guys pick that up? Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Peg. Hey, Angela. Resistance, and I think it's tricky. It's like that little seed of doubt, or it's the complaint that you make, always complaining. I think about the ASEA business. There's people always complain, oh, I don't have the right people on my team. Oh, my team's not doing anything. Oh, this, oh, that. And I think to myself, well, if we keep saying that, you're going to perpetuate it. So I cut off those conversations. I'm like, you got 30 seconds to complain, and then let's be results focused. But thinking about this, it's beyond that. The reality is the resonance that you're carrying is that you're resisting any sort of people that want to come in and, do great in the business. The same thing is true with relationships. So if you're not careful, if you keep thinking, oh, the right person won't be attracted in. This stuff is mumbo jumbo. It's never going to work. I was just on a podcast with a guy over the weekend, and he said, oh, I've tried those affirmations. I've tried thinking those things. They never work. And I said, well, of course they don't work for you, because you have the opinion they're not going to work. And it's kind of tricky. Like, you got to release all doubt in order for these things to actually occur. So how many of you have resistance come in? It's a tricky thing. Larry says, the resistance idea was new to me, but can explain things from the past. Yeah, Larry, I'd never heard it explained like this either. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've been my own problem, because I'll complain about stuff. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I'm literally speaking into existence more of what I'm complaining about. Don't complain. You hold the energy space of that. You're creating resistance to the flow. It's something within you that's blocking it. It's wild. To take responsibility like that, though, it requires a lot. You have to realize, I'm responsible for the good, I'm responsible for the bad, I'm attracting in the things that I want, I'm also attracting in the things I don't want. Marie says, me too, I have been my own problem. Yeah, look at whatever you're trying to create. Like, what's your goal? What are you looking to manifest? What are you looking to bring in? And if you ask yourself, why isn't it here? I have a hunch that some of the things we talk about today will allow you to see. And then the biggest thing is resistance. And he really got into teasing out what this means to resist. So let's talk about it. He talks about the number one thing that we can do to sort of create the opposite is to give forth what you want to attract, is the way that he kind of said it. And he says, you must be what it is you're seeking. So he used the example of a partner. Like, let's say that you're looking for a partner. He says the universe of attraction and energy. It is a universe of attraction and energy. You can't have a desire to attract a mate who's confident, generous, non-judgmental, and gentle, and expect that desire to manifest if you're thinking and acting in non-confident, selfish, judgmental, or arrogant ways. This is why most people don't attract the right people into their life, because you're not being it. You have to be what you want to attract. So let's talk about relationships. If you want a loving partner, you need to be the loving partner. If you want your partner to understand you, to go with you on this journey of personal development, you need to be the one that's understanding of where they are. It has to come from you first. You have to express it first. If you want unconditional love, you have to give unconditional love. It's amazing. Hey, Tina. This is something that, it allows, what I think is really cool is it allows you to take responsibility. Like, there's no guesswork. Like, what do you want in life? Great, go be it. And that whole phrase, be the change you want to see in the world, it's like, yeah, hold the vibration, hold the energy, be it, be the one that is all allowing, be the one that just lets people do what they want to do and doesn't try and control them, right? That is all allowing to it. There's so much with this. In business, what are you looking for? Who are you looking to attract into your business? Well, who are you being? it's probably who you're attracting. You know, they always say the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack in my type of business, in the network marketing space. And I always reflect and go, okay, am I doing what I want my team to do? Am I acting like the person I want to attract? If not, well, you're not going to attract them in. All right? It's like so simple when you think about it, but for some reason complex for us to apply. All right. He says the other thing, this again, giving what it is that you want. He says, you know, I'm on page 205. We must always remember that nothing is disallowed by the universal mind. Whatever is not allowing us to be happy is being disallowed by us. That, like, I read that multiple times, because what he's saying is that, remember, the universal mind is creative. It's all allowing. It's constantly producing. It is abundant. It is love. It is beauty. It is all of these things, the 7 faces of intention that he's talked about through the whole book. And he says, whatever is not in your life, whatever is disallowing you to be happy, whatever is disallowing you to have the relationship you're wanting, it's actually something within us that's disallowing it. Wild, isn't it? And I think exciting, because that means, well, then I can take responsibility to change it. Because if it were up to something else, or something else was occurring that was outside of my locus of control, then I'm never going to be able to get that. But what he's saying is, no, this is squarely on your shoulders. This is something within you. And it might be subconscious. So that's when you have to kind of reflect and do some inner work. But he's saying you have the power to change it, which is just beautiful. All right. There's so much in this. I feel like I could just read this chapter to you all, and it's like, soak in it, bathe in it. It's so good. This phrasing I thought was helpful. You know how, like, words are everything, and he's taught us this in other chapters, but I thought this was a powerful phrase. He said, rather than saying, I wish this person would show up because I need to get out of this rut. So maybe this is in your business. Hey, John. Maybe this is in your business. Maybe this is in... well, John's a singer, right? Maybe this is in attracting the right show, the right person that he wants to go be around. Maybe this is a relationship that you're looking to attract. He says, rather than having this attitude of, oh, I wish they would show up because I need to get out of this, instead, activate a thought that reflects your connection. Meaning, I know the right person will arrive in divine order at precisely the perfect time. So you just relax. And you go, well, I know I'm connected to this person. I've pinged out to the universe that I need it, so now I'm just going to wait. Like, it's going to show up. And he says, this is what he means by thinking from the end, right? Beginning with the end in mind, thinking from the end, you are anticipating the arrival. Rather than stressing about why isn't it here and, like, being in a very low energy, you're anticipating the arrival. Do you guys feel that nuance? It's a totally different space to live in. And when you're anticipating the arrival, all of a sudden this makes you more alert. You also start to get more from your intuition. Things start to ping in a little bit more. It's as if you have this, like, deeper sense of knowing where you start to co-create. It's like you know who to call, you know where to look, you know where to trust, you know that, oh, that was not a mistake that I just heard that commercial or overheard that person at the restaurant, right? It's all unfolding in the exact right way. And this is how you have to learn to co-create with the universe. Powerful. John says, yep. John is very good at this. This is something that we all, you know, can practice, and he's giving you the guidebook on how to practice it. It's amazing. And he also says it's all unfolding in divine order. This, for me, is something I always have to come and trust. All right, so he says, I suggest that you do a quick review and note all of the people who have shown up as characters in this play called your life. Did any of you do this? When I read this chapter, I read it twice. And this part, you know, I kind of reflected back, past relationships, past people that have been in my business, you know, who my aunts and uncles and family members are, who my sister is, and looking at the dynamics and interplay that has happened throughout my whole life with these characters that have been in my movie. Did any of you take some time to reflect? Because what he offered, I just thought was such a powerful lens. And before I read it to you, I wanna say this. Like, I used to have this hanging in my office, and it's in my drawer now. But it was so fitting for this. Here's what it says: anything that annoys you is teaching you patience. Anyone who abandons you is teaching you how to stand on your own 2 feet. Anything that angers you is teaching you compassion and forgiveness. Anything that has power over you is teaching you how to take your power back. Anything you hate is teaching you unconditional love. Anything you fear is teaching you courage to overcome what it is that you fear. And anything that you can't control is teaching you how to let go. This, to me, is everything. And it's exactly what he's talking about here. Look, all these people, all these relationships, all these dynamics, everything that has come through your life, they did for a reason. All of those people that you're blaming for the pain that you're feeling were actually trying to teach you a lesson. And I wish that we could teach children this from a young age. And I believe we need to start doing this and to teach us at whatever age we are to realize, look, life is always unfolding for our benefit. Everything that occurs is for a reason, and it's teaching us something. Peg says, studying the patterns of relationships has been a lifelong study. Yeah, beautiful, John says. Can you put a copy in Telegram? Yes, I will put a copy of that in our Telegram chat. Absolutely. Great quote, great lesson. I agree, Angela. That's why I used to have it hanging, because it's like, oh yeah, remember, Danielle, remember. And I, for me, after my car accident, there was so much I couldn't control. One of the lessons I had to learn was to let go and trust. And so this has kind of been a recurring theme in my life, is learning how to let go and trust, and also learning how to take my power back, learning what I do have control over. I absolutely will post it. I'll make a post on Facebook. I'll post it in Telegram. So make sure you're plugged in to all those places. Yeah, because it's read it every day. I mean, if you read that every single day, you're going to enjoy life on a deeper level and the way that it's meant to be enjoyed. So I want to read this to you guys. This is on page 207. I read this paragraph 6 times. I just thought, wow, this is so good. He says, this is your past, and whatever your energy level at the time, whatever your needs, whatever your station in life, you attracted the right people and events to you. You may feel that you didn't show up when you needed them. You may feel that, you may feel that they didn't show up when you needed them. But in fact, you were alone and no one showed up at all. But I urge you to see it from the perspective of all of life being in divine order. No one showed up. It was because you needed to handle something on your own, and therefore attracted no one to fulfill your energy level at the time. Viewing the past as a play in which all characters and all entrances and all exits were scripted by your source, by the divine, by God, and was what you attracted at the time, frees you from the very low energies of guilt, regret, and even revenge. How many of you feel guilty about something that's happened in the past? Maybe the way you acted, the way you behaved. Who feels like they want to seek revenge because of the way somebody treated you? This to me was the most liberating paragraph of the entire book of the past. You were the character in that person's play. Understand that. And they were a character in your play. And you got, they talk about these soul contracts, whether you believe this or not, but I love the perspective of souls before they come here, before you come into this body, sign contracts with one another to, hey, I'm going to play this role in your life to help you learn this lesson. So there's people that are constantly pushing your button or causing you to feel whatever feeling, insert feeling, right? Abandoned, angry, not worthy, whatever, insert low energy feeling there. That person, that soul is doing you the biggest favor. They're being your teacher in this life. They're trying to wake you up to the fact that no, you're never alone because you're connected to your source. And you have to go through feeling abandoned in order to reconnect with that. There are all these things. And if you've treated someone poorly, maybe you were not as consciously aware as you are now, and you acted out, or you got angry, or you did something, remember that also perhaps was a lesson that person needed at the time. You guys were having that exchange at that time for a reason. Peg says it's the bus stop conversation. Yeah. Lou says, yes, we choose our family way back then and before. Yeah. Super empowering. I'm just super empowering. And then he has a few words about patience. So again, all of this is how we get rid of the resistance that we have in life. So this again, just being honest with, my flow of life. Before I get into this, John says, no coincidence that this matched my meditation less than an hour ago. Releasing guilt around those I treated poorly. There you go, John. I'm glad you showed up randomly on Facebook today to find it. Well done. It's no mistake at all. These are the things, right? John's in the flow right now. These are the things, and this is just another affirmation for John of, let it go. You had to treat them in that way because that's a lesson they needed, and also a lesson now that you're learning of releasing what was in the past, trusting that you were the character you had to be. Sometimes some souls have to play harsh roles because the lessons are meant to be learned. You just never know. You never know. Has anyone ever been super frustrated that what they're looking to manifest or draw in is not happening? Put a 1 in the chat if that has happened to you. Where you're like, you know what? I'm waiting for the beautiful business to come. I'm waiting for the partner. I'm waiting for, the money. I'm waiting for this, and it's not here yet. Is anyone else, or is it just me? Anyone else? Okay, there you all are. I'm like, really? It's just me that gets impatient? Peg says the bus stop occurs before we land in our bodies. Hang on. I can't scroll back. Lots of 1s happening. Just one of the spiritual beliefs that are out there. Yeah. Okay, so everybody. All right. Thank you for the wink, John, so I'm not alone. Okay. I will never get this out of my head. He says, being impatient, not trusting the divine order, is like attempting to rush the schedule based on your own timetable, akin to getting down on your knees and tugging at an emerging tulip shoot, insisting that you need the flower right now. Creation reveals its secret in time. It reveals its secrets in time, not according to your agenda, not when your ego mind wants it. Like, how ridiculous is that notion? To get on the ground and be like, okay, tulip, chop, chop, like I need the flower, pronto, now, let's go. There's a divine flow. There's a divine order. Things have to grow in a certain way for that tulip to develop and be in the beauty that it is. You can't rush that. And it's so good. I think about it in life because I'm like, why isn't it here yet? Like, why isn't it here? Why? I'm still waiting, And then, of course, now I'm in a low energy. I've probably lost my connection to it. But think about that. It is ridiculous to think that you could rush, a tulip shoot into being a flower. So you cannot rush the manifestation process and how long it's going to take for you to bring in whatever it is you're looking to bring in. The divine has the timetable, and you've got to trust it. I loved that so much. I think I laughed out loud. I was like, that is ridiculous, Danielle, what you've been doing. I also liked how he ended out, this part of the book. He said, the immediate result of infinite patience. Okay, so he's talking about you need to be infinitely patient, right? Patient as the flower, comes into creation. But he says, the immediate result of infinite patience is the inner peace that comes from knowing that I have a senior partner who will either send me someone or leave me alone to work it out myself. This is called practical faith, and I urge you to trust in it. Be infinitely patient with it, and have an attitude of radical appreciation and awe each time the right person mysteriously appears in your immediate life space. Practical faith. Yeah, hey David. Practical faith. It's huge. This senior partner, knowing that you have a connection, knowing that there is something higher than you that is working and it's your co-conspirator. Exactly the reminder you needed to hear. John, you were just in the right place this morning. Well done. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. So, as always, he ends every chapter in a beautiful way where he gives you 10 steps. 10 steps that you can follow, that you need, in order to apply what it is that he shared. So we have a little bit of time today. We'll kind of whiz through them. And I want you, by the end of this, to tell me which step it is that you're going to apply this week. Because it's great to learn all of this, but, I don't want it to be shelf help. I don't want this to just go and sit and be whatever. Like, you need to pick one thing that you're going to apply, one takeaway from the chapter. So after I go through these 10 steps, let me know the one that it's going to be for you. Peg says, I love the senior partner. Yeah, I loved the way of thinking of that too. Like, oh yeah, I got a senior partner to help me out. Like, they're more experienced than me. They see the bigger picture. They're going to take me where I need to go, and I'm going to trust it and love it. All right, so he says step 1 for making your intention your reality, right? Drawing in ideal people. Step 1, move away from hoping, wishing, praying, and begging for the right person or people to show up in your life. He's reminding us in step 1, you have the power to attract the right people, so banish all doubt about your ability. Again, you're going to pick one of these to be the one that you start to implement, so maybe that's the one. Number 2, he says conceptualize your invisible connection to the people you'd like to attract into your life. So literally see the connection. Think about it. I had a friend of mine, she explained it like there's a silver cord, and there's silver cords that connect all of us, it connects the everything. And it's like you start to tug on this cord. So imagine that you're going, okay, I am looking for my ideal partner, or I am looking for someone to just run with in my business. Be super clear, and every morning just envision yourself tugging on a cord as if like the strings on a puppet, right? Where you're like, okay, let's go. I'm tugging on this one. I want this one. Now you can't see what's attached to the end of it, right? You don't know who it's going to be, what they look like, but you're going to pull on it because that's what you're wanting. I mean, this is such an easy thing to visualize and do. Maybe this is the one that you want to implement. Juliet says, like my guides, my senior partner has an arm around me always. Yes, exactly. Charlotte says, detach from the outcome. Yes. All right, number 3. Form a picture in your mind of meeting the person or persons you'd like to have assist you or be in partnership with you. And I thought this was really interesting. A couple of things I want to say about this, forming the picture. He kind of warns here. He says, look, don't share this visualization technique that you're doing with anyone. Because when you have to explain yourself, then you have to defend yourself. You have to like get into the energy space of a lower energy where someone is doubting you, and making you defend that what you're doing isn't ridiculous. He says this is a private exercise between you and God. And I'll just, if you want to percolate on this, that this is going to be the one you want to apply. I remember a friend I met, an entrepreneur. He had, I forget what type of business it was. Something like landscaping or windows, something like that. And he wanted to expand. And he said, I need, the right partner to bring in to be able to expand the company. And I got to trust somebody to manage it the way I manage it. And so what he started to do was every morning he would visualize his business meeting that he was having with this new partner. He said, Danielle, I sat down and I went through, all right, today I'm going to these jobs, you're going to these jobs. Okay, we need to have this in mind. Hey, this is the issue we're having with this employee. Hey, this is what's going on with taxes, blah, 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 blah. He literally had the conversation with the business partner before the business partner even existed. And he said, literally, it just manifested out of thin air. The person came in and then he was having the real conversation with the real person. Imagine if you did that. Again, whether it's the relationship partner, whether it's the business partner, whatever it is you're looking to create in your life. Charlotte says, sharing deflates you. Yeah, because other people don't get it. They don't get it. Lou says, the silver cord, I'll visualize that. I'm still hanging on to the handle in the bus, in the subway, etc. Yeah, that trolley strap. The silver cord goes right along with that. So that's step 3, this visualization. Step 4, he says, act upon the inner picture. Stay alert for signs of synchronicity and never ignore them. Get into action. So step 4, if you're going to apply step 4, it just means move. It means, okay, this is what I want to create. What's one step I could take right now from where I am with what I have that could start to bring that towards me? It's to get into motion. It's not sit and visualize. This is the action-taking step out in the world. All right. Step 5, take the path of least resistance. Remember, resistance is lowered energy. Source is high, creative, and expansive energy. So figure out what it is that you're resisting. If it's a doubt, banish the doubt. Step 6, practice being the kind of person you wish to attract. If you want to be loved unconditionally, practice loving unconditionally. If you want assistance, extend assistance. If you want to receive generosity, give generously. This is the one I'm going to apply. So step 6, I am going to be and act in accordance with what it is that I'm wanting in my life. Step 7, detach from the outcome and practice infinite patience. Don't make the mistake of evaluating your intention's success or failure on the basis of your little ego and its little timetable. All right, Peg says, I'm going to focus on practicing step 7, detaching from the outcome and practicing at a higher level of deeper faith, as well as step 4. Lou says step 6, Doug says step 6. Yeah, I like step 6. It's easy to do. And it's like, well, when you give, you receive also. Like you want unconditional love. If you give unconditional love, you're in that energy space. So ding, 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 like it's done. And then more will come in. All right, step 8, he says practice meditation, particularly the japa meditation, to attract ideal people and divine relationships. Juliet, did you put that in Telegram? Can you put that in Telegram, that japa meditation that you did on YouTube? I think that would be good for all of us. I didn't see it come in. When I post this, maybe you can just reply to this with that meditation. All right, step 9. Look upon everyone who has ever played any role in your life as having been sent to you for your benefit. So this is the space John's in today. And, realizing that you were there for their benefit as well. So I love this analogy. He says, thinking about like the wake of a boat. He says, the wake of your life is like the wake of a boat. The wake doesn't drive the boat. The wake is not driving your life. Everything and everyone in your personal history had to be there when they were there. And the evidence for this is the fact that they were there. All right, and just trust and know this. So perhaps you need to, step 9 is reflect on this. And step 10, it's the same step 10 in every chapter. Practice gratitude. So remain in a state of eternal gratitude and practice gratitude every day. So which number are you going to be doing? Can this list of 10 actions go in the Telegram too, please? I can take a picture of it for sure. You're going to have all my notes all over it. But yes, Angela, I can take a picture of it. For those of you that have the book, these action steps are listed page 209 to page 212. Step 6. A lot of people are like in step 6. Yeah, absolutely. I'm there too. Marie says she's got to practice step 7. Nice. And Juliet says she will put the meditation in there for us. Beautiful. All right. I can't believe we are on chapter 13. It's my intention to optimize my capacity to heal and be healed. Ooh, this will be a good one. All right. So this one, it's just pages 215 to 230. So 15 pages. We'll be back next week to talk through it. John's going to do step 9. I had a feeling, John, that is what you meditated on this morning. As always, guys, I appreciate you. These book clubs are so fun. I feel your energy. I hope you feel it from where you are. And it's beautiful to have this community. I will right now go into Telegram so you guys can have that. And I will also, Angela, post the steps so that we can talk about, maybe in Telegram, just put which step you're going to do, because that reminder, that accountability will be really helpful. Larry says he's doing 2 and 3. And Candy says I'm doing all of them. Good. The more the merrier. He wants us to do all 10, but I'm like, all right, one at a time, right? Pick one and do it, because sometimes we get into overwhelm. Okay, well, lots of love. I appreciate you all. I'm so grateful for this book club and to be with you each and every week. And I will see you next week. We'll be doing chapter 13. So enjoy it between now and then. Any conversations in the interim, go to Telegram.